Howdy dorks, week 7 officially done. That seems really crazy to say. This season is absolutely flying by, but it was a really good week. Let's start off with the headliner of the night in my mind, and that is we'll go to District 3 5A Division 1. Surely we've got to be talking about Aledo or Denton Ryan, right? The ones that are guaranteed to one of them win the district. How about the Burleson Centennial team that we told you on TFT? If you have been paying attention to high school football, Burleson Centennial winning 23-16 over Ryan might not be the biggest surprise. If you haven't been paying attention to that section of this state, it might sound absolutely crazy, but that's exactly what happened. This Centennial team is legit. This is not any sort of a fluke. It wasn't a necessarily just crazy poor performance from Ryan that it's like, whoa, what in the world happened? This is a very, very good Centennial team. Their running back, Elijah, is unbelievable. I think he is the real deal. I think that this Burleson Centennial defense can keep up. But what they did tonight is they found a way to expose the Ryan defense. Ryan is a team that isn't necessarily high flying. They're not going to outscore a ton of people. They're going to beat you with their defense, and Centennial found a way to say, nope, we're going to run all over you tonight. So a huge win there that really shapes up this. Now it's kind of a 3-team round robin. You look forward to next week, Burleson Centennial, well, they're taking on Aledo. So that one right there, if Burleson Centennial can beat the Bearcats, then that basically decides the district championship. But if they were to catch a loss, then the week after that, that would be week, 9 at that point, Denton Ryan plays Aledo. So these next 3 weeks, or these next 2 weeks, now that this one is done, is going to completely shape out how District 3 5A Division 1 happens. But now there's even more intrigue because we're not just all sitting back waiting for week 9 to roll around like we thought we were probably going to be, especially, heck, go back to when we were talking in realignment and they put them in the same district. Burleson Centennial is legit. If you're not paying attention to them, you can start now. Big doings in the 6-man ranks as the Cherokee Indians take down Richland Springs. This is the first district loss for Richland Springs since 2001. 2001. Tepper said it earlier on the desk. I think he said this is their first district loss since like 3 days after the first ever iPod came out. So it's been a hot minute. We saw Cherokee play Bluffdale in week 5, I believe, of the Texas high school football season, and we said this is a legitimate team. They have the playmakers that they need. They're very explosive. They have one of the best kickers that I've seen all year in person, and that's out of really any rank. So this is a complete team that had the playmakers to get it done, and they go out and shock the 6-man community, taking down Richland Springs. So a huge win there. Big doings in the 3A classification that I feel like we really kind of got the answer that we were wondering. It was Mount Vernon, the number 2 ranked team, taking on Winsboro, the number 8 ranked team in 3A Division 1, and Winsboro pulls out the win 28-14. Now, go back for a second. Mount Vernon is playing without their superstar quarterback, Braden Bennett, but they've been playing without him. He tore his ACL in week 3, so they've been playing without him for 2 games now, and this was the question. They have McGill, who is an unbelievable running back, but really they're a one-dimensional style offense. Now, I'm not saying that McGill can't outrun most people, but the Winsboro defense had a stellar game tonight. They really took away McGill and limited the amount of yards that he was able to get, and it showed that Winsboro is the team to be reckoned with, I think, in that district, and it really starts to shape out a little bit of that region as a true contender, and we were very, very impressed by the way that defense played tonight and the way that the Winsboro offense did. They didn't do a whole lot, but they did every absolute thing that they needed to get this win, and I think that kind of solidifies a little bit more of a common ground onto what this Mount Vernon, the new identity Mount Vernon team, really is. Another one in 3A Division 1, and that was Columbus's win over Hallettsville, 35-13. Region 3 is very, very fun when you take a look at 3A Division 1 because there's Franklin, there's Lorena, there's Columbus, there's Hitchcock, and we came in this year going, man, who in the world is going to emerge? You definitely think Franklin, you definitely think Lorena, but there were the second tier to that is Columbus and Hitchcock. Well, good news is those two teams are playing next week. Hitchcock has been my darling team since I saw them at State 7-on-7 back in June, and I am very interested to see, but this is a Columbus team that, man, is cooking on all cylinders. So that will answer a little bit of that. That'll answer the question as to who's going to win that district, but the fact still remains, Region 3 and 3 Division 1 is going to be a ton of fun come playoff time, and Columbus has solidified their spot as a true contender in 3 Division 1. Finally, want to round it out with a game that came down to the wire. It was a 6A battle up here in the DFW. Saginaw Boswell taking on North Crowley. This game for, shoot, man, I'd say 85% of the game was 9-8 Boswell on top. We're going, okay, man, you want to talk about a defensive battle. And we knew that with North Crowley. They were the best defense that had allowed the least number of yards per game in 6A in the DFW all season long. I think they were only giving up 175.6 yards per game. So Ray Gates, a former defensive coordinator, we knew that was going pretty well, but Boswell really, really showing out on their defensive side. And then it kind of turned into okay, we're going to save all the scoring for the fourth quarter and then just trade back and forth the whole time. Turns out North Crowley wins it 21-17. The final play was a North Crowley defender with an unbelievable stop in the back of the end zone. Boswell had it. The wide receiver was wide open, but unbelievable defense by North Crowley to solidify the win, 21-17. And guys, they're the front runner in District 3 in 6A. This is a team that made the rankings for the first time since they've been a program since 1998. They made the rankings this year at 25 this past week. They have never won an outright district title. They have never had an undefeated regular season, and I really think you look at the rest of their schedule, I think they can do that. We had said that this was probably their last super, super big test. Now, you can't get a big head. You have to go win the rest of the games, but what Coach Ray Gates is doing for those new North Crowley Panthers has been exceptional. They are a fun team to watch. I think that their running back Cornelius is a true talent. Kamarian Pimpton is unbelievable, committed to Vanderbilt, but really expecting him to start getting some other looks than that. A smart, very kind, caring kid. So super excited for the North Crowley Panthers. They feasted on barbecue earlier before the game, and our reporter Abby Jones asked if they were going to keep doing that pregame, and Coach Gates said, oh yeah. So big things cooking out there in North Crowley. But that'll do it for the Week 7 recap. If you were watching this before 1 a.m., head on over to Valley Sports Southwest. You can see the Hall of Famer Craig Way along with Greg Tepper and Aaron Hardigan on High School Scoreboard Live. If you are seeing this after the fact, you can go back and watch it. But if not, we will be back on TFT on Monday to break it all down for you. So, adios, dorks.